walk into the kitchen. You stop. You have no idea why you're there. This happens to everyone, and for decades scientists assumed it was just a glitch, a minor brain hiccup. Then in 2011, a researcher at the University of Notre Dame proved something disturbing. Your brain isn't glitching. It's doing this on purpose. Every time you walk through a doorway, your brain runs a specific operation. It flushes your short-term memory, deliberately. And the reason it does this goes back thousands of years to a survival mechanism you were never supposed to notice. His name was Gabriel Radvansky. He was a cognitive psychologist at Notre Dame, and in 2011, he designed an experiment so simple it almost didn't get funded. He put people in front of a computer screen and had them pick up colored objects in a virtual environment. Squares, triangles, simple shapes. Then they carried those objects from one room to another. At random points, the screen would ask, "What object are you carrying?" When subjects stayed in the same room, they answered correctly almost every time. But when they had just walked through a doorway, their accuracy dropped. Not by a small amount, by a measurable, repeatable margin. Same objects, same rooms, same people. The only thing that changed was whether they had crossed a doorway. Radvansky thought it might be the screens. Maybe something about the virtual environment was creating a false result. So he ran the entire experiment again with real rooms and real objects. Same result. Walking through a doorway made people forget what they were holding, even when they could still see it. Radvansky had a name for what was happening. He called it event model theory. Your brain treats every room as a separate episode. When you walk through a doorway, your brain closes the current episode and starts a new one. Everything from the old episode gets archived. It's still in your memory, but the details become harder to access. The doorway is the trigger. But that raises an obvious question. Why would your brain wipe useful information just because you changed rooms? Archiving memories every time you step into a new room makes no sense in a modern house. There is no predator in your kitchen. So why does your brain keep doing it? The answer is thousands of years old. For most of human history, crossing a threshold meant entering a completely different environment. A new cave, a clearing, an unfamiliar stretch of forest. Each new space carried different threats and different resources, and your brain needed to assess the new space fast. To do that, it had to dump the old information. Where the berries were, what tool you set down, which path you came from. None of that mattered if there was a predator standing 10 feet away. Your brain developed a system that prioritizes the present environment over the previous one. The threshold is the boundary marker. Cross it, and the system activates. Your brain is running threat assessment software that was built for survival. Every doorway activates it, even the one between your living room and your kitchen. The system cannot tell the difference between a cave entrance and a hallway. It runs the same operation every single time. But here is where it gets stranger. Radvansky kept testing because he wanted to know if a physical doorway was even necessary. It wasn't. Follow-up studies tested whether the effect could happen without any physical boundary at all. Researchers had subjects imagine passing through an entrance while sitting still in a chair. Their memory accuracy dropped. Not as much as with a real room change, but the effect was there. Just thinking about a boundary was enough to trigger the flush. And it goes further than that. Shifting your attention sharply from one task to another can do the same thing. Your brain uses boundaries of any kind to segment experience into episodes: physical, mental, temporal. This is why you forget what you were about to type after switching browser tabs, or why you lose your train of thought the moment someone interrupts you. Your brain treated the interruption as a boundary event and started a new episode. The doorway effect is not really about doorways. It is about how your brain organizes all of reality into chunks. Every boundary is a potential reset point. A door, a phone notification, a scene change in a movie. Your brain has been doing this your entire life. You just never had a name for it.